great result for Jamie McDonald, but pretty much an easy night's work for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a result we wanted. It, coming home, a good win like that. It wasn't the most competitive of opponents, but he was in the ratings, in the European bantamweight ratings. The bantamweights are not as strong as they could be if you go through the ratings, but he done what you do with a weaker opponent. He didn't mess about with him. He took him straight out, and for him, it's a good result. The fans went home happy. Doncaster has got a chance of seeing him here again, but he's mandatory will not be as easy as that. His mandatory is the former European champion
Carmelo
Maloney, who who's a puncher and who lost on a split decision to Ian Napper, lost his title. So that's going to be a lot harder, and we'll have to go to purse bids to win that. But I think if we can get it here, and with the support here in Doncaster, Jamie will come through. But he's starting to develop into a good fighter. I mean, a few of my shows he was on, he'd lost the British title, I think, twice on one of my shows, and an English title. But he's settled down now with his training team. He's under new management, and he's developing very well. And I think we're seeing a young star in the making there.
There was a real undercard classic with Curtis Woodhouse and Steffi Ball, because it was a grudge match, and they didn't disappoint, did they, between the two?
No, I mean, that's what boxing's about. That was a great fight. Both guys, wore their hearts on their gloves, you can say. They both wanted to win. They're the sort of matches the public like to see. They're competitive matches. They're fights that keep the crowd interested. And both sold a few tickets, so there was that sort of rivalry in the crowd as well, and it made for a great atmosphere. And another good fight on the card was Scott Hayward and Rick Goddins. Another good fight. Two young fighters trying to make a name for themselves. Obviously, the senior of the two was Hayward. Unfortunately, he looked quite good in the second round. He looked like he found the answer to Goddins with body shots, but he stopped throwing the body shots and he paid the penalty and lost in what was a good fight. But it can always be a rematch there. But it's a step up for Goddins, who shows that he's probably moving up the ladder, and Hayward is sort of stuck in the middle there somewhere. And we also saw the pro debut of another heavyweight, Damien Campbell. Again, I thought it was a good performance by Damien, because he was in with a very experienced guy. Not many people would have put someone in with Lee Swaby in their first professional fight, but Damien hasn't got time on his side, so we had to push the accelerate button with him, because he is 34 years old. But I think he'll be in the mix there with a few of the heavyweights for a while, and we'll see how it goes, because the heavyweights are always exciting, no matter who they fight or where they go, and you'll just see another heavyweight developing there. The rest of the undercard was reasonably good. We saw Liam Cameron making a name for himself in a home debut fight. He's another young one to watch in the future. So we've got some good young stars. We seem to be developing boxing in the North East, boxing in Yorkshire, boxing in the Midlands, and boxing in London. So it looks like it's onwards and upwards for boxing, and it's great news that all our boxing shows from September will be moving to a Saturday.
I think we'll be back up here for Stewie Hall against Martin Power, won't we?
Yep, July the 23rd is our last show of this season. It's a great fight with Martin Powers and Stewie Hall, and it's a great undercard. Tony Jeffries doing his first 8-rounder, and a number of other young kids. It's great to have one side full of all North East fighters. So it shows even the North East is developing, and to have a North East champion is good. But tonight was all about Jamie McDonald. We got the result we wanted for him, and he looked good in the way he finished off his weaker opponent.